Hi again. Let me just make sure this is shining, focusing on the cards. Okay, so I wanted to come on and do just a little, I've shuffled the cards, so I wanted to do a little reading on Ethan Crumbly. He is the 15-year-old high school student who did a shooting in a school in Oxford, Michigan. Let me just say before I start, if I happen to say a wrong town, a wrong name of something, just know that sometimes I do that. I have lupus, and I don't know if that's what causes it, but sometimes when I know something is blue, I might say orange. I don't know why my brain does that, so just a FYI. But I believe it was Oxford, Michigan high school, who shot 3 students and injured many more. I think a 4th actually did die also. So 2 boys, 2 girls. And when I do these type of cases, I usually do when I've done missing person cases, but this is a different one that I'm doing just because I'm curious. I don't watch a lot of coverage on it. I might read something. This I didn't read anything about, but I might watch a few videos, or I see something on the news, like maybe a video and something on the news, and I just get intuitive hits. But I didn't get a lot of intuitive hits, but I was called to this case. I was just called to do a reading. Maybe it's because of the fact that I was a special ed teacher. I dealt with, sorry I'm saying I hate when people do that. I dealt with students ages 12 to 15 who I just did it again, who were emotionally disturbed, behavior disordered. Some were learning disability also, but they were mainly emotionally disturbed, had emotional issues, had traumatic events in their life, depressed or schizophrenic or whatever they were, and also behavior disordered, oppositional disorder, intermittent explosive disorder, all that kind of stuff. So I've dealt with students who are like that, like Ethan. Okay, now I didn't say he was in special ed. I'm thinking he might have been. I could be wrong, so I think he might have been, but I'm thinking, they didn't say. So what drew me to, and I do, and hopefully no one's going to, and I know when they're in pain, the parents of the victims, they might seek to, sue everybody and their brother, to get, justice, and I understand, and you have a right. I just, as a teacher for these type of children, I just thank God. I mean, yes, it didn't turn out well, but thank God these teachers saw and called the parents in. Yes, hindsight, I'm sure these teachers or administrators probably feel so much guilt that they didn't send him home, that they didn't make the parents take their child to the hospital for an assessment. When I was going through a divorce, my school called, not my school, my daughter's school called me because my daughter was having a severe meltdown because of the divorce. And they called me, and I didn't, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll talk to her when she gets home. And they're like, no, you need to come get her. You need to come get her, and you need to seek help. They stress the importance of it. So, and at first, I just didn't, okay, yeah, kids go through depression when their parents get divorced. I had a restraining order, so we were kind of going through some stress at the time. But I didn't think it was as serious as it was. But the school insisted, no, you need to come, you need to get her, you need to take her to have an assessment. So they did. So I went and I got her, and we went to the doctors and stuff, and she got counseling. So I think the school was doing what they thought they should do. They called in the parents. I think they even called in the parents twice for his behavior. And kudos to the teacher that was monitoring him and watching him and seeing that he was on his phone, I guess, looking up bullets, to purchase bullets, I guess, for the gun that he posted on, I guess, his Facebook that he got for Christmas from his parents. And I saw the prosecutor in the case and having a news conference and talking about how the kid, I guess, and again, this is where if I'm wrong, you can correct me, don't yell at me, but the prosecutor said the teacher, I guess, said you can't be looking that, because you can't look up that kind of stuff in school. You can't even look up or play certain songs in school. So the teacher, kudos to her for noticing what he was looking up, like a not a good site. Maybe it was on a computer. I don't know, in the library. Who knows where it was? But that she noticed it, okay? So that was really good. So I just want you to know that the teachers and the administrators were on this. They were focused on this. They were watching, and they were trying to do their due diligence. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But then the prosecutor was saying that, I guess Ethan texted his mom like, "Oh, I got in trouble, because I was looking up bullets, for my new gun." And I guess, according to the prosecutor, the mom texted back, "LOL, I'm not mad. You just have to learn how not to get caught." Now the prosecutor, okay, she has to present her case eventually. So she is going to go on the side of the law, that side of the case, saying how appalling that you're like, oh, just don't get caught looking for bullets, on a gun that your son is using to kill people. Okay, so that's the frame of mind the prosecutor is going to come at it with. But now keep in mind, now also I heard, now I don't know if this is, I don't know where I heard it, maybe I heard it on the news or something, that the mom supposedly wrote a letter to Trump praising him for his gun rights, okay? Words or actions or whatever. So now gun rights is a big controversy, okay? So yes, the prosecutor is going to use that to say, oh, look at the parents. They kind of willingly handed this gun on a silver platter to this kid to go kill somebody. But if you're looking at the side of people who are pro-gun, now I am not pro-gun, okay? But I know people, I have friends and I know people who are very pro-gun. Not normally, I think the only one that should have a gun is an avid hunter, or a law enforcement person, or military. Those three people. Nobody else. That's my personal opinion. If you have a different opinion on guns, that's your personal opinion. I don't have a problem with your personal opinion. But my personal opinion is a gun is to kill. To kill to eat, to kill a human. No other reasons. So, having a gun just to have a gun, if you're not a hunter, a law enforcement, or military, I do not think you need to have a gun. Now, times are crazy now. Stop. Times, and I live in Chicago, times are very crazy now. I have thought, with that said, I have thought about getting my own gun. I have thought about it. However, if I ever were to take that step to get my own gun, I would make sure I had plenty of training, where I'm almost a sharpshooter, because If I'm going to take that gun out, I'm killing you. I am killing you. Okay? Because that gun is going to kill. To save my life, I am killing you. If I have to save my life. And I am going to damn sure do it in one shot. So, but I don't really see myself ever getting a gun. So, that's my take on it. Now, with the text that the mom sent back to the son, and I'm being devil's advocate here. On the defense side, they're gun people. You know, she didn't know her son was gonna kill people at the school. They're just gun people. You know, it was a Christmas present. He's excited about a gun. He wants to buy bullets. He wants to shoot at the beer cans in the backyard. Or, you know, whatever he's gonna do with it. You know, I don't think these parents, really do not think these parents thought he was going to kill kids at high school. However, the only thing I do possibly hold the parents accountable for, and I'm not the parents, we don't live in their house, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I will say this. If the school did call them in about his behavior, the first thing I would have done was take the gun away. Find the gun, take the gun away. Because I think they were called in even the day before this incident and the day of the incident. I'm not sure. I heard it was the day before and also some days prior. And then I heard it was the morning. Cooper, enough. You want to go on your bed? Quiet, I'm working. No bark, quiet barks. Good boy, quiet barks. So the first thing I would have done is take the gun away, okay? Because of what he wrote, you know, in his journal or drew, you know, blood and what he posted, okay? And also, okay, yeah, you know, maybe they don't watch all he posts on the internet or his social media. So maybe they didn't see that he posted, you know, about blood and the ending or whatever words he posted. I forget exactly what it said. Maybe the parents didn't see that, I don't know. But they did know about the school and the concern for his behavior. So the parents should have taken the gun away. That's one thing. The other thing is, you know, okay, I saw the pictures of him when he was younger. They showed it on Access Hollywood, I think. No, not Access Hollywood. Inside Edition. Pictures of him when he was younger, and he had the glasses and the big eyes and the big round face and a little cutie, you know, with shorter blondish looking hair, lighter color hair. And he was talking, and then I saw like a little video clip of him playing basketball with his friends, and he was, you know, I don't know what they were playing, but I guess he was doing a video of it. And he kind of looked innocent back then, okay? Maybe he was 12, 13. But then you see his mugshot, okay? And this is what called me to do the reading. And because I've dealt with children who are emotionally disturbed, behavior disordered, antisocial behaviors. Something happened to this child, okay? And I'm not blaming parents. You know, I don't know what went on with in the house, you know, we can look at this, but something happened to that child. From the little boy that we saw to this 15-year-old, no emotion in the eyes. You know, at first I was like, evil. Okay, and I've seen evil. I was a probation officer also, and I've dealt with students who were schizophrenic, bipolar, had manic episodes, which I think he was in a manic episode because the eyes reminded me of a student I had when I drove a school bus, and he was going through a manic episode. Okay, so I'm driving my school bus, and my student is, I look back, And the eyes are different. He's not there. Okay, he's not there. He is gone. And he's sitting in the, kind of leaning in the aisle, and he's flicking a lighter. Okay, and he's looking at me. You can't have matches or a lighter in a school bus. Okay, he's flicking his lighter, and eyes aren't there. Same eyes I saw on Ethan. Okay, I'm like, oh, sweetie, you need to put the lighter away. You know, Cooper. You know what? You're gonna get it. We can't have that on the bus here. Okay, so sweetie, you know, put the lighter in your pocket. All right. I'm like, intuition. I had my winter hat on, but had little tassels. He's gonna light me on fire. He's my last stop. I'm going down. I'm gonna be in a blaze of glory. Blaze of glory. I mean, I'm like, okay, got 3 kids on the bus. He's my last stop. I conveniently passed the other 2 kids a stop. I'm like, I'm getting this kid off the bus now. So I pass the other 2 kids' stop, and I go to his stop, and I'm like, oh, dang. I passed, we'll just pretend, you know, Mike's stop. I passed Mike, and Brian stopped. Okay, Joe, pretending it's Joe. Because, you know, those aren't the names. This is a special ed school bus, you know. Those aren't the names. If you get what I'm saying. So I take Joe, I drop Joe off first. Because Joe's about ready to set me on fire. I get Joe off the bus. Next day I pick up Joe. He's fine. Joe's fine. He's back into the world. He's back into reality. Okay, so anyway. Back to Ethan. That was Ethan. Okay, Ethan was experiencing, I don't know, a schizophrenic, voices, manic, I don't even know the definition of manic, but manic episode, you know, I could look it up, but that's what I want to say. But, and if people are schizophrenic sometimes, or even bipolar, it might not come out, you know, when they're younger. It might come out when they're like 18, or, you know, it could come out later in life. So I don't know, but I believe, you know, there are killers, like serial killers who I believe are complete evil, like Jeffrey Dahmer, and all that's evil. There is, hate to break it to you, but there is evil in the world, and I believe right now in society we have a triangle. Okay, can you see that? We have a triangle. Man, God, devil. I think there is a battle going on in the world right now between man, between good and evil, in the universe, between God and the devil, let's just say. Good and evil, dark and light. I honestly just, there is just chaos going on right now. I thought it was bad in 2020. I believe in 2020 with the coronavirus, God was trying to reset. But now in 2021, 2 and 1 is 3. 3 you would hope would be the Trinity, but it's not. There is just, and then next year will be 2022, which equals 4, which is stability. Hopefully we will have some stability in 2022. But right now, I'm feeling a shift, and it is not good. Thank God this year is almost over. So, at first, like I said, I was thinking evil, but I'm thinking something happened to this child between 12, 13, and him being 15 now. He is, the one friend in the class said he's depressed. He definitely looks depressed, but the eyes as cold as ice. He wasn't there. He's not there. I can't specifically remember what he said, but something about his life is useless or something. So he's definitely depressed. But what was the change? What was the change? And this is why mental health is so important in our society. Before I pull cards, let me just tell you this. With 2020, how we had just chaos with the coronavirus and all the deaths and sadness, and yes, people rose up, people supported each other, but it was so stressful. People lost their jobs, people lost their businesses that they put their whole heart, passion in. It was just, and then people were stretched to the limit. The essential workers, and then you come into this year, and now the essential workers are losing their jobs because they're not getting vaccinated, and saying you got to get vaccinated or you're effed, but that you worked the whole time as an essential worker when people were dying, but you were there helping, working, so anyway, just a little side note. So I would change my phone carrier, and I had to go through major hoops, to get this new phone set up. It was just like, I had to go to one store, and it was the wrong store, and, it was just a bad day. And then they couldn't tell me how to get to the next store, and I called the next store, and they couldn't even tell me how to get to their store. It was just a bad friggin' day. It was like, it shouldn't be this friggin' hard, customer service. And so I was frustrated, I was tired, I was driving miles and miles out of my way, and it was just awful customer service. And I'm driving to the next place, just to get this new phone set up, and it was such a hassle. I was so mad, I was so frustrated, and it occurred to me, I'm like, no wonder there's these random acts of violence. If a person is not mentally sound, mentally ill, and, has a gun, being mentally ill and not mentally sound and mentally simple, meaning lower IQ, I see now why these things happen. I'm mentally sound, I think I got a pretty good IQ, and I don't have any mental disorders, so I wouldn't do anything. But I can see why someone might have gone back to that so-and-so store. Or, where you hear these people go in and they shot the cashier. Now it's making sense. If, mind you, and I'm not trying to make fun of it, but mind you, if you're mentally unbalanced, and you pulled a trigger, mental trigger for these people, and they go pull a trigger. I'm like, I see now how this can happen. But anyway, that's a side note. But something had to happen to this child to click that trigger, or he had to be in a state of mental manic episode. So I'm going to ask the cards just what they want to tell me about this Ethan Crumbly, and just why. Why was there such a change from those videos we saw of a cute little boy to the nothing in the brain? No empathy, no conscious, no emotion, no nothing. Like, what happened to this child? Okay. And now, the parents are charged, which, is going to set a new precedent, I think. Now, how do I feel about that? If the parents give a child, with all these mass shootings in schools, it's going to depend. It's going to depend. Did the parents know that he could possibly use it for harm? I think that's going to be the key. Did something else flip over? Okay. We got the Phoenix here. Okay. Alright, let's see what they have to say. Let me see if anything else flipped over. Let's see if they could tell us anything about this, you know, just to get some more insight. I mean, because normally these school shootings take place with people who have been bullied. That's what we've heard. But it didn't seem like this kid had been bullied. All right, I think they said that. And, you know, he was playing basketball with all these friends. All right, so what do we got here? Okay, so we got the Phoenix, which I believe is the Queen. Let me look on my Queen, Phoenix. Yeah, okay, so we got the Queen of Pentacles. All right. Now, Queen of Pentacles, she's usually a down-to-earth, you know, mother. Okay, so mother, we'll just think of that for a moment. Let's see. And then we have, let me look at my chart here, because it doesn't look like Rider Waite. I forget a little. Hang on, people. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we have the Hierophant. So we have Mother and the Hierophant. The one picture did show him praying. Okay, so that's rules or religion. You have 10, 15, 16, 17. 15, 16, 17. Is the Star card. The Star card normally is about hope, you know, but it can also be about being abandoned. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We have the Two of Cups. Okay. It's kind of like the Lovers. Okay, so abandoned. Religion. Was there going to be a divorce? Who abandoned who? Okay, and then we have the Eight of Wands. There's news. News. Was there news of the parents getting divorced? Eight of Wands, which was causing chaos in the house with all three people. Do you see here? Kind of like the father, mother, and then the kid above there. What was Ethan the cause for the divorce? I'm just, you know. Then we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords. Five of Swords. That's, could be walking away or theft. Five of Swords. That's the guy holding 3, leaving 2 with the tent in the background. Five of Swords. What else could that be? Let me look at my book. Because this book gives me good, like, insight. Okay, Five of Swords. Retreating. Yeah, walking away. Okay, so, and then the overall is Two of Swords. And that's like the person holding the 2 swords, you know, trying to make a decision. So again, it's a woman. So it could be the mother. And we have possibly a younger, oh God, I don't know where it left off. We had the Five of Swords, which could be walking away. Normally we see theft, it's the guy holding 3 swords and leaving 2 with the 10s behind, but a walking away. But then the overall is the 2 of Swords, making the decision with the woman sitting there with the blindfold. But if you could see there's 2 heads in the back. It looks kind of like a younger male and an older male. So the woman has to decide between her 13 and the death card, which is a transformation or a transition. She has to decide between her husband and her son. And okay, let's say this is the mother. She doesn't have to be a earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but if she is, maybe that's confirmation this is her. She's trying to rise, but she's trying to rise. Usually they rise out of a fire into the sun, into the sky. These are woods. Woods, to me, is calling to me. What I'm hearing is like darkness, entanglement. Like her wings are getting caught. She's like having a hard time getting out. So something could be happening. Maybe it's just that Ethan is having mental problems, or just maybe not behaving at home, not following the rules. Maybe he made this change, from his younger self, where they were into religion, he prayed, but then all of a sudden maybe he got in a bad crowd, and he just didn't start obeying the rules, and the father's mad at the mother for not disciplining him. So yeah, I'm not going to go too deep because I don't know these people and I don't know their lives. But let's just see if these, and I've shuffled everything already, so let's just see if, okay, so this is the story of what caused the trigger for him but I still think there's a mental health issue under all this that has caused the demise of his mental state. But this could have been, is precipice, is that the word? This could have been this could have participated. I don't know what the word is, but you know what I mean. This could have led to, this stress could have led to the trigger that clicked his mental state to deteriorate enough where he was depressed enough, psychotic enough, manic enough to want to go out basically in a blaze of glory. He didn't even care if he got shot by the police. He was so depressed, distraught, not in his right mind, that if he's going down, why not make a name for himself on the news? I think some of these killings are that. Okay, so anything else you could tell us about this case? Anything else? And then I'm gonna do another video. There's a girl, I forget where she is, but the mom is Gabby Petito's parents are helping her. She's missing. A lot of cases come up on missing. Oh wow, 66666 is about memories. Well, I'll look at that in a minute. But this girl is missing, and Gabby Petito's parents are really helping her. I don't know if she's been found yet. I haven't looked at anything or seen anything. I just saw a few snippets about the story that I really was called to, that I want to do on this missing girl. What was I going to say? Whatever. So I'm going to do a video on her. Oh, her, she went to California, I believe it was, to see her boyfriend, who they were both going to be tattoo artists. That's how they kind of connected. But he was also used drugs, heroin, I believe it was, and she called her mom, and she had gotten a fight with the boyfriend out in California, and she had called her mom on someone else's phone, so she didn't have her phone. And the mom was like, well, you know, call me back, you know, let me know what's going on. And she's like, I love you. And her daughter's like, love you more. And that's what my daughter has been saying to me lately. So this is why I kind of have been drawn to this case, because of the love me more. So it kind of is calling me to do a reading on her. I don't remember her name, so you can look to that one if you want to look at my other missing persons cases, and we'll see what's going on with her. We have 6-6, so we have 6 of hearts, which is memories, good memories. So it's also about living in the past. So maybe Ethan doesn't want to have the family. He wants the family unit to be how it was, and it's not. Yes, and we have the 6 of Swords. There is going to be a change. There is going to be a move on. If this divorce is going to come about, things are going to change. And Ethan doesn't want to move on. I don't know when his depression started, but he is definitely a different child than he was in the videos where we saw him standing like this praying, and the video of him playing basketball with his friends. He said, but this stress of the family dynamic changing has triggered a mental illness but I still think it's deeper than that. But maybe it isn't, I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. So that's what I have on this case. So my heart goes out to the people that lost the students, and the ones that were injured, and all the students in the school. It was such a traumatic event. And even those students that had to run out the window, how traumatic for them. Even if they weren't the persons killed or persons wounded, it's such a, that's more people in this world with mental health issues. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. We need to get rid of that stigma. It is a health issue. We need more mental health services. In fact, it probably needs to be in the schools. It probably needs to be a class, just a service, maybe not even a class, just where there's a doctor, where there's a social worker, where there's a psychologist, where medicine can be prescribed. And I am not one to take medicine, but just maybe homeopathic medicine. We just need to do more on mental health, because so many traumatic events are happening to our youth in schools, let alone the gun thing, let alone regulating that. But yeah, we're not even going to go there, okay? I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. So take care. Leave comments below if you have comments about this. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Thanks for to my subscribers. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon. Thanks for anyone else watching too. Bye-bye.